Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good morning to our panel, which are Prof. Madra Dr. Nursuhaila binti Sulaiman, and next Prof. Maria DS Dr. Alias Muda. My name is Nursuhaila binti Muhammad Suhaili, and today I will present about my final year project 1, which is implementation of Link application as a smart socket controller in home. Okay, next. As we know that people use lots of electricity in our daily life. Okay, so implementing a small effort towards energy saving will be very helpful in saving electricity, because when demand is high, means we have to generate more electrical energy. Okay, thus if everyone in the house turn off the fan when it is not in use, thousands of watts of electricity can be saved. Okay, unfortunately, people's behavior towards electricity saving awareness is low, and they do not notice the waste of electricity until they have to pay the bill. So this project want to implement a smart socket using Blink to develop as a control device on electrical appliance in home. Next, the background study of this project is based on consumer in home that careless manage their saving towards electrical and electronic appliance. This was supported in research Mashkur and Prasetyowati that mentioned people always forget to turn off the light even in the daylight. Okay, so to avoid this carelessness, smart socket is a system for power control and monitoring as stated in research mostly and there are others. Also, this background study, according to Roku Nurzaman and his friend, this project, following the changing lifestyle and technological advancements, smart plug is becoming more popular as a way to improve daily life while reducing energy consumption. Okay, next problem statement of this study. Okay, come out as a peer awareness for myself as consumer. Did our house save while we are traveling? Did any our electronic equipment forget to be turned off? So arise consideration to optimum the power electricity usage. Only through a smartphone that we can see the state of the house and control it. The intent to this project to develop an app to give user a freedom to control the household and minimize the electricity usage. Lastly, a decision to make a prototype of smart socket to monitor and control electricity when the consumer of the house are not at the home, and there is no more worry when leaving the home. So my final year project objective is to design a prototype to automatically control the socket and notify when the absence of occupants in the house who can meet the needs of the user. Okay, second, to develop a prototype that can save the cost of electricity consumption at an affordable price by using Blink and ESP32 in order to apply smart technology in household use. Third, to identify the functionality of prototype with system that use in room to control and monitoring device using smartphone and tablet. So, next is my scope of study. I know my scope of study is only limited to the user in-house because it operated by the occupant of the house. Okay, the next scope is this project want to implement Blink application so that socket can be turned on or off remotely, because Blink is one application that is free and easy to install in our phone. Okay. Third is the use of Blink as a device for sending notification and display data to user. Okay, notification will be arrived to the user when PIR sensor is not detect nobody in the current area. So it will sending notification to user to turn off or turn on the electrical appliance, and display data to user means to monitor the power usage of the electrical device. Next, move to the flow chart of final year project 1 based on model design thinking. So this flowchart is about my final year project 1, okay, which have 5 stage of process, which is empathize, where I observe according to the needs or problem of the user. Okay, I noticed that people always forget to turn off their light in the daylight and turn off their electrical appliance when they are not in home. Okay, next process is the define. So I study the needs of this study and analysis of user problem. Then come out idea as the next process, which including the objective, methodology, hardware and software. Move to the next process, prototype, which will begin in final year project 2 about model development and simulation. Okay, when prototype is ready, we move to the process of testing. Okay, test the functionality of the prototype. Does it work? If it works, then we go through the prototype evaluation. If the prototype does not work, so we have to develop and do the simulation again. Okay, when prototype evaluation is done, that means we finish our final year project 2 and we have to send the full report. Okay, next move to next is my flow chart development of smart socket prototype. Okay, first, of course, we have to plug in the device into the socket. Okay, when the device is on, we cannot see the current and voltage value is calculating by our eyes, but we can monitor it by using Blink serial monitor or Blink apps. Okay, then when PIR sensor detect nobody in the current area, so it will send a notification to user to turn off or turn on the device. Okay, if the user giving the action in the apps to turn on or turn off the device, so device will turn off. If the user press off, if the user press on, so the device will turn on. So when device is turned off, current and voltage value is recorded and there is no calculating of current and value. So user can see the current and value voltage after using that electrical appliance. Then end the process. This is my block diagram of the project. I use 3 sensors, which are PIR sensor, to detect if there is nobody in the living room or room in the house. Okay, PIR sensor will detect about 10 minutes to send the notification to the user. Okay, after that I use a voltage sensor to calculating the voltage value for display in the Blink apps. So user can monitor the voltage of the device that plug into the socket. Okay, same goes to the current. I use current sensor to display the value of current for user to trace the usage of power consumption on the device. Okay, and I use relay to control on and off in the Blink apps. Okay, all of this sensor is controlled by ESP32, which is my microcontroller, and then my output is main socket and Blink apps, which have a user interface and alert message. User interface is display power usage of the device, and keypad to control on and off of the device that plug into the socket. Okay, next, this is my expectation of model design. Okay, I have one socket and the next socket is one one cardboard box that contains a component of this system, and the brown color this brown color is my PIR sensor to detect the presence of the people in the living room or room. And lastly, conclusion of this project. First, I want to implementation of Blink application as a smart socket controller give the possible to control several smart devices at once by touch of a button, because smart plug can automate just about anything in your house in a minute. So you can turn it on or and off with your phone, and even monitor its energy usage. Okay. Next is a prototype to monitor and control electricity when the occupants of the house are not at home, and there is no worry when leaving the house. Okay, by monitor its power usage, consumer can track their consumption in a real time, so they can identify waste point and control spending, so it can build an informed strategy on power consumption. Okay, and lastly, this is my Gantt chart final year project 1. Okay, start from briefing 1 in September 2021, and then we end of this final year project in the second week of January with the presentation with the panel. That's all from me. Thank you.